G'day YouTube, this is Skywolf again with another World of Warships replay. This is a rank battle with me sailing the Scharnhorst, the premium tier 7 German battleship.
All forces, capture that area.
And in this battle I'd like to demonstrate how quickly fortunes can change, even when it seems so important that everyone's doing the right thing. This is a ranked battle, and the difference to random battles is that here not only do you win if you win something if you win, you also lose something if you lose. So there is an added incentive for everyone to play to win. Here, line up that shot on the Miyoko. Oh, nice.
Confirmed penetration.
Citadel is always nice. It's always nice. The Scharnhorst has for a battleship quite small guns, 280 millimeters, which means that it is actually pretty hard for her to penetrate even a well-angled cruiser. Miyoko has stopped me here. But on the other hand, the guns have a relatively high rate of fire, again for a battleship. And there are 9 guns in total, which is quite helpful. But what I really like about the Scharnhorst are her secondaries. She has a whole range of them. And this ship is actually secondary spec'd, so I have advanced firing training to give them more range, have the signal that gives them more range. So I have a range of up to 7.6 kilometers with my secondaries. And I use manual fire control for secondaries. So they are actually quite devastating. I'm happy to borrow that smoke here, same as the Belfast. That's probably the Sims smoke, because this Belfast cannot produce that much smoke. Now we have taken the Alpha cap, and we have sunk one of their ships. And both of that means that we are definitely in the lead. And it is now up to the enemy team to attack. The ball is squarely in their court. And that's why I'm playing quite defensively. I try to stay here on the side of the island and make sure that I can shoot at anyone who tries to sneak around on either side. Yeah, that's the Belfast smoke. It's actually quite big puffs for Belfast. I assume that she has this added captain skill that makes bigger puffs. Now there's a smoke screen up ahead, and I think there was a Nagato and a Belfast somewhere in there. Oh yeah, there they are. I tried to hit the Belfast because the Belfast is a really dangerous ship, and I'd like to take her out, but she's just hiding behind the island. So instead I'm aiming for the quite stationary Nagato. Ooh, that was good. That was a good hit. 2 citadels. I launched the torpedoes. You never know. But I'm also turning away. Because as you can see, there's an enemy destroyer nearby. And you can almost be certain that there are some of his torpedoes in the way, on the way. My secondaries open up at the... I think at the DD. It's now back in hiding. But yeah, here are the Shiratsuru's torpedoes. And I really don't want to eat them. Unfortunately, our Miyoko is not so lucky.
The ship is on fire.
But we're still ahead one ship. We're still ahead 100 points. And let's see if I can... Yes, we're ahead two ships. Sending some hopeful torpedoes that way. So the ball is now squarely in their court.
Torpedoes, direct front.
And they know it. So you see their Gneiss now is starting to push around in the south. The Shiratsuyu is trying to run away and hiding behind smoke. But yeah, sending off torpedoes. Now the Gneiss now is outside of the torpedo range, but the Gneiss now is coming closer. So I'm hoping that maybe by the time they reach him, he'll be in range. You see the Shiratsuyu is now following together with the Gneiss now coming around the southern side. Oh, that was close. That wasn't fair. So, and I'm running. I'm trying to play passively, trying to get my guns trained on the Gneiss now. Then I noticed something nice. There's smoke here. That's done by our Sims, and the Sim starts to go towards the Bravo cap. And this is where things start to get horribly wrong. Because what you can see is that we don't really know where the remaining Belfast is. And if you don't know where the remaining Belfast is, it's probably at some point where it can really not... But it's really bad. So, there. Now the Belfast is basically in a one-on-one fight with the Sims. And that is absolutely not a fair fight for the Sims. You can see how quickly his health is deteriorating there. And he's launching some torpedoes against the Belfast. But there she goes. And that is the beginning from where everything starts to go wrong. I'm lining up some shots on the Belfast. But she's pretty well angled. I don't want to fight there, but there she smokes up, so I decide, okay, stuff it. Oh well. 2 penetrations. Not too bad. Now our Belfast is also pretty close, which means that our Belfast is actually in range to radar the enemy Belfast. So I'm asking her whether she can radar, but she doesn't. I assume that her radar isn't up yet. And there is the enemy Scharnhorst. I unload on her and send some torpedoes into the smoke.
Torpedoes to start.
she's coming out, so I'm lining up some shots. And push into Bravo. And I managed to kill off the Belfast in a moment. Swinging around to get my rear gun. She sets me a light. But with the Belfast now dead, I decide that I'm safe now, and I immediately use damage control, and that is a mistake. That almost cost me very dearly, because there's still the Scharnhorst over there. The Scharnhorst does have torpedoes, and there they are. And I almost managed to evade. One hits me, but fortunately it hits me on the torpedo belt, and it doesn't cause flooding. If that had caused flooding, that would very likely have cost me a lot of health that I couldn't afford to lose. Now we are now only one ship ahead at the moment. So we're far less safe. I was thinking about capturing this Bravo here, but with the Gneisenau just having gone out of the cap circle, I can't afford to hang around 30 seconds, so I need to go off. And there goes our Gneisenau. And now it's even on ships, on the number of ships. But at the same time, they still have their capture point, but their Shiratsuyu is capturing Alpha. So the points will very shortly swing in their favor. And I know that there's a Scharnhorst somewhere behind it. Okay, there she is. I'm not making the same mistake again. I know that she's probably sent out her torpedoes. So I immediately turn in. There they are. There are the torpedoes. And this time I managed to evade them. And I'm sending out my torpedoes. At this short distance, there is no way for him to evade that. And I kill the Scharnhorst. And now it's 2 battleships against 1 destroyer. But they have both capture points.
Problem solved, sir.
And we decide to meet up in the capture point Bravo to capture B back and try to prevent the points from swinging further in against us. Because finding a destroyer is really hard as a battleship. I'm being spotted, so I suspect that he's somewhere in this gap. And I pointed out to the Colorado. But he's not, he's over there. And there are a lot of angry triangles going towards our Colorado. And the Colorado eats just one of them, but gets a detonation. And now it's just me against this Shiratsuyu. The points are in their favor. And I'm sending out some hopeful shells. And do they hit? Do they hit? No. Yeah, and that's it. Game over. They're ahead on points. They have both capture points. There's no way for me to find that Shiratsuyu if it doesn't want to be found. There's no way for me to capture both points and win that way, at least not if I'm at the same time dancing around the Shiratsuyu's torpedoes. Yeah, that battle is done. Unfortunately, I have done a lot of damage, and I should be top of my team and not lose a star, which is very fortunate. But the only way for me to actually win would be if he makes a catastrophic mistake and tries to kill me and gets greedy enough to kill me and also lets himself be spotted. So I can't believe my luck here. Why are you doing this? Why? I did not expect this to happen at all.
Torpedoes, dead ahead.
He just threw this game away. So, thanks to the Shiratsuyu, we did in fact win this ranked battle. And I did pretty well out of it. 124,000 damage, 4 citadels, 1 torpedoes strike, 4 kills. We had close quarters expert, dreadnought, and high caliber. I got top of my team, and the Shiratsuyu that basically threw the game away for the rest of the team. Manages to get the top of her team by points and manages to be the only ship that doesn't lose a star. Which sounds a little bit unfair, but then again, the Shiratsuyu was also the ship that actually managed to get their team that close to winning. The Shiratsuyu captured Alpha, the Shiratsuyu destroyed 3 of our ships. So, maybe it's fair? You decide. A detailed report. I'm not quite sure what to talk about. 1 million potential damage. I didn't do that much spotting. My secondaries did 13,500 in total damages. So don't underestimate the secondaries of a German battleship. Credits and XP. I'm still running a premium account, which means that I go home with 388,000 credits and 7,500 commander XP, which is always nice. And this was it for my ranked battle in the Scharnhorst. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like this video. It's always appreciated. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.